Hello everybody and welcome to this Verbling class. Today we're going to be having a class as part of my Around the World in 80 Days series where we travel virtually around the world and read about different places and some interesting things that happen there or are there. And today our location is Siberia. We're going to read about train trips in Siberia, so come along if you would like to. You can practice your reading and your pronunciation in today's lesson, and we might have a bit of a chat about what we read too. So come along to practice your reading, your pronunciation, and hopefully increase your vocabulary a little bit too. Just before we get started, what I'm going to tell you about is a couple of things. There are two useful pages on Verbling that can help you. Now, all the teachers have these, but I'll give you the links to mine in the chat box. The first one that you can see is my Facebook page, and if you're interested in following me as a Verbling teacher, go ahead, click on that, and you'll get to my Facebook page where you can see what's going on, comments and chatting and class resources, you could say. Sometimes extra material or interesting stuff that I find will be posted there. So go ahead, check that out if you'd like to. Apart from that, you'll see the next link is to my Verbling teacher page. Now this is where you can see what classes I've got coming up. You can also see my schedule or my timetable so that you can check out when I'm available for private tutoring. If you're interested in private tutoring, it's sometimes a good way to really make a lot of progress on your English, or focus on something really specific that you want to deal with. So if you're interested in private tutoring, go ahead and have a look at my schedule. You can also write me a message. So if you want to ask anything or just get in touch with me, then do write me a message using the Verbling messaging system. One more thing, if you click on the follow button, all the teachers have a blue follow button under their name, and then you'll be automatically notified of my goings on, on Verbling. I can't talk today. And yeah, you won't have to keep coming back and checking the website, so it can be quite handy. That's all I want to tell you. Let's get started by saying hello to our lovely students who are here to practice their speaking and their reading this morning. So, first of all, let's say hey to David.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, how are you today, David?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Excellent. I'm great, thank you. Tell me, what have you been up to? Have you had an interesting day?
What up to, miss?
Have you had an interesting day? What time is it over there?
No, today I stay at home studying.
Ah, okay, so not particularly interesting. Have you made any progress? Have you made any progress?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. What were you studying today? What topic?
Physics.
Pardon?
Physics.
Physics. Oh my goodness, I can't help you with physics. It's always been one of those subjects that totally my brain just can't handle. I find it really interesting, a lot of physicsy stuff, but I just can't get my head around it. So I'm in awe of you, David. All right, well, welcome to the class. You can have a bit of a change of scenery. No, a change of topic. A change of topic.
Okay.
All right, welcome. Who else do we have? Eduardo. Good morning or good evening.
Almost good night, because this is my last class. I'm going to bed after that.
All right, well, make sure you don't fall asleep before the end of class.
Yeah.
How has your day been? What have you been doing?
Well, I was working this morning, in the afternoon, trying to learn English here in Berlin. And I went to do some shopping and to play tennis, and that's it. Have dinner, and now I'm here again.
Wonderful. So you're very committed to your English studies, Eduardo.
Yeah, try. At least trying. Yeah.
You're at least trying. That's all you can do in life. That's what I say. So well done. All right, welcome. Who else do we have here? We have Joao. Is that how I say it?
Hello. Good night.
Hello.
Here. I come from. I'm in Portugal.
You're in Portugal. Are you Portuguese?
Yes, I am.
All right. So how can I say your name correctly? Is it Joao?
João.
João. Okay, I'll do my best, João. Nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. Why are you
Well,
learning English?
because my work for my work is important.
All right.
I have tried very times in past, but with low success.
Oh, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Well, let's hope that this time is the one that you have success with, Joel.
I hope.
Me too. All right. Well, welcome. It's good to have you in the class. We'll at least get your pronunciation and your reading and maybe your vocabulary a bit better.
Sorry,
What I said was at least we will hopefully improve your reading today a little bit.
Okay.
That's our goal.
Okay.
All right, welcome, Joel. Who else do we have here? We have Ming. Hello.
Hello, hi Amy.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey.
Good. How's studying and work going?
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. Same here, Ming. All right, welcome to the class. Raphael, good morning or good evening, should I say?
Good evening. Yes.
Good evening. Now, just please forgive me for asking this, but have I met you before?
I think so once or
Once.
twice. I don't, yes, I'm not sure.
All right, well, that makes me feel better. At least I haven't forgotten someone I should know well by now. How are you, Raphael? It's good to see you again. And tell me about your studying. How's it going?
I'm good, teacher, thank you. And I've been studying English, well, I would say for 1 year, 1.5 year almost. And today I had a private class with a teacher here in Brazil, 1.5 hour in the morning. And I've been attending English class on Verbling at least twice a day, and that's it. I really need English for my job. I work as pilot, and it's really useful.
All right, gosh. Do you know what? Being a pilot, I've always thought that must be just a very amazing job. To fly as your job must be so cool. So I'm not envious, but I suppose I might be in awe of you too, the physicist and the pilot today.
Thank you.
All right, well, good to hear about you, Raphael. Welcome to the class. And who else do we have here? We have the other David. So good morning, no, good evening, David from Colombia, right? Welcome. How are you today, David?
I am doing well, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm great. We're going to read an interesting piece of travel writing today, guys. So let me just say hello to one more student, Edison. Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, and she's disappeared. All right. Well, maybe she'll be back in a moment. If not, we won't worry. So what we're going to do is do what we usually do. First of all, I want to ask, has anyone here ever been to Siberia?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well, me neither. And what we're going to do is read a little bit about it, because I don't know whether we know much about this place. Does anyone know any facts about Siberia?
It's cold.
I don't know if that's really considered a fact, guys. Yeah, okay, probably is. Fair enough. Okay, it's cold. I'm pretty sure that's true. Let's have a read about. Let's see what Wikipedia says about it. So who am I going to ask to read this? I think Ming. Ming, could you read it for us, please? It's in the chat box.
Okay. Siberia is an extensive geographical region consisting of almost all of North Asia, Siberia has been historically part of Russia since the 17th century. The territory of Siberia extends eastwards from the Ural Mountains to the watershed between the Pacific and Arctic drainage basins. Siberia stretches southward from the Arctic Ocean to the hills of north-central Kazakhstan and to the national borders of Mongolia and China. Siberia is 77% of Russia, but has just 27%, 40 million people of Russia's population.
Thank you, Ming. You sound like a talking encyclopedia. I think you have one of those voices that you could, get a job as the GPS person, the sat-nav person. Please turn right.
To the left.
All right,
Not the first
sorry.
time. Thank you.
It's a compliment, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Thanks.
All right, thank you for reading that. Does anyone have any questions about vocabulary? Are we all kind of clear? Where Siberia is, part of Russia, huge and cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just quickly say hello to Anton. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Good evening from Spain.
How are you, Anton?
Too tired, but trying to improve my English. No
Well, there
matter.
you go. Who cares if you're tired? Keep going with your English, right? That's your motto?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the class. We're just about to start reading our article. We've just read the little introduction on Siberia. If you want to take a look at that, it's in the chat box. Other than that, guys, click on the link. I'll do a screen share, and we'll read along together. So we're going to be reading about a train to nowhere. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of dramatic. You can see here a lovely picture of a Siberian train station. If anyone wants to attempt the name of that, then go ahead. I don't. So we've got some cool words in this. Go ahead, try them out, do as best as you can, and I will correct you or help you if you need it. So we'll take it in turns to read. Then I'll check to see whether everybody's understanding what we're reading, and we might have a discussion about what we're finding out. So let me see, who can I get to go first? Well, we've had Ming, so I'm going to ask Raphael. Raphael, if you could start from I woke up.
I woke up when the train's sporadic rocking and chugging came to an abrupt halt. Momentarily disoriented, I was somewhere along the Baikal-Amur mine line, the 3,140 kilometers long railway that runs through northern Siberia. I was heading west towards home.
Keep going, please.
It was 8 a.m. and around me the denizens of the open-plan Plazakartny third-class carriage were starting to wake up. There were 2 new passengers on the bunks below who had got on in the middle of the night, somewhere west of Komsomolsk-on-Amur. Andrei, who looked like a Russian George Clooney, was drinking a liter can of Baltica beer and heading north beyond the town of Neryongry to work in a mine. Yura was returning to Tinda, his hometown, because the mining company he worked for near Khabarovsk hadn't paid him for 4 months. Some friends told me that there is a job back home, he said.
Well done. Thank you, Raphael. Great reading. Okay, you had some tricky words in here, but it wasn't the tricky words that tripped you up. It was some of the more simple ones. So let me just check with you. Okay, this one doesn't count as simple. This is denizens.
Denizens.
Yes. This one here is pretty important because it's one of those really common words. We pronounce it as if it has a T ending, right? So it's worked.
Worked.
That's better, much better. And another one here, this one is, there's just one syllable, so paid.
Paid.
Brilliant. Okay, well done. Thank you, Raphael. Let's talk about the vocabulary, guys. There must be some words in here that you're not sure about, I would guess.
My name is Viviana Forero.
Hello, Viviana. Good to see you. Sorry, I did not notice you popping in the class then as Raphael was reading. Welcome.
Okay.
We just read, I don't know whether you followed, but we just read this very first part here of the article. So I'm just asking everybody if they have any questions about vocabulary, because there's some tricky words.
Yes, I have, teacher.
Go ahead. Which one?
The first sentence, rocking and chugging.
All right. So this is to do with a train, right? So we have some sort of atmospheric train words. Chugging is what a train does. It's sort of that noise that a train makes when it's going along. Like, it's sort of a bit of an onomatopoeia. So it's like, if you'll excuse my little noise making moment, it's like that type of noise. Okay, if you can imagine that.
Yes, for sure.
All right, rocking is the movement. Okay, so rocking is moving from side to side or front to back. So we have what's called a rocking chair. It's a chair that you sit in and it moves forward and back, forward and back. So that's a movement and that's a sound. Does anyone know what soporific means?
Nope.
No, I'm not surprised.
Boring.
Boring?
Yeah.
Not far off, Eduardo. Actually,
Boring.
it sort of means...
That you are going to get asleep when you are
Yes.
monotonous,
Exactly.
something monotonous. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sort of something that sends you to sleep. Exactly right. So you can imagine that being on a train with the noise and the movement kind of sends you to sleep. Can someone tell me what disorientated means?
He's lost.
Lost. Yeah, exactly. Unsure of their location. Basically lost. It sort of means confused about where you are, as opposed to lost, but it's very close, Joe. Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Any other words, guys?
Halt.
Okay, hang on a second. Whereabouts is that?
The train is stopped.
The big abrupt halt.
Halt. Halt.
Halt.
Halt, there we go, is, well, what does halt mean? Anybody know?
Stop.
Yep, exactly. It just means stop. So maybe a policeman would say to you, halt, please, right? Instead of stop, please, possibly. Any other words?
In military, they use it a lot. Halt.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I'm just looking to see if there's any. What's a bunk?
Bunk bed, two beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of a bed, though?
One over the other. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So one on top of the other, which is also similar to like military stuff. Maybe they're making this train sound like you're in the army. All right. I think we can carry on, guys. Let me know if there's any other questions. And I'm going to get Viviana. Would you like to continue reading, please, for us from here, the BAM?
The band was originally conceived in the 1930 as hugely ambitious engineering project that would place a paid through sonoruses, least hospitable terrain, creating easier access to Siberia vast mineral way and facilitating colonization on the region, running parallel to the Trans-Siberian Railway. From the Tashkent Junction in the west all the way to some Soviet cabin on the Pacific coast. One of the goals was to help divert heavy freight traffic from the more famous rail line. But the speed, no, the speed costing around billions of rubles to build, with construction not fully complete until 19. Oh no.
Yep, that's correct. 19.
Yeah. 91.
Yep.
The vehicle armor main lane remains dangerous.
Thank you, Viviana. That was a difficult paragraph. You did really well. So what I'm going to do is just go through a few words that were a bit tricky for you, and if you could just repeat them, please, okay?
Okay.
All right,
it's my first class.
It's your first class on verbling?
Excuse me. Okay.
Did you say it was your first class on verbling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You're doing great, Viviana. Don't worry. It's great to have you. I just wanted to say welcome if it's your first class.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. So let's see about some of these really tricky words that you had to deal with. This one here is conceived.
I don't understand. Repeat, please.
So what I would like you to do is just repeat the word after me. So I'll say conceived, and you say conceived, just to practice.
Okay, conceived.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, this one here is 1930s.
1930s.
Great. Okay, this one is path.
Path.
Excellent. Okay, this one is tricky. It's facilitating.
Facilitating.
Great. Well done. Okay, another one. Despite.
Despite.
Yep. And then this one, I was going to write that down, but you ended up getting it right. So just to go over that one more time, it's 1991.
1991.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Viviana. All right.
Okay,
so, does anybody have any questions about the vocabulary?
What is this hugely ambitious?
Hugely ambitious. Good question. Who can answer that?
Once they want to get a great goal, trying to make a big thing.
Absolutely. That's correct. So hugely ambitious basically means a very, very big goal or a very, very big aim. Something huge that they want to achieve. Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions from anyone?
What is this place?
Blaze a path. Okay.
Blaze a path.
Good question. What does the word blaze? What kind of image does it give you? Does anyone know? It's to do with fire, right? So we usually say something like a fire was blazing. So when you say to blaze, yeah, a trailblazer, exactly, Ming. That's a great one. It's very similar to being a trailblazer. It means that you sort of create a path in a very dramatic and impactful way, right? It's almost like blowing stuff up to create a path.
All right.
Any other questions? All right. What we're going to do... Yes? You have another one, Viviana?
What is this phrase? Deeper, heavy freight traffic. Deeper, heavy freight traffic.
Heavy freight traffic. There. That one? Yeah? What does freight mean? Can somebody explain the word freight?
Like a cargo?
Yeah, exactly. So freight is cargo, yeah? It's like transporting goods. And if it's heavy, it means that it's something big, something, I don't know, it could be like metal or maybe importing or exporting something. Alright, so what we'll do, if you have any more questions, just type them into the chat box and I'll answer them that way, and then we can continue reading. So I will now ask Anton to continue with unlike, please, Anton.
Okay.
Okay.
Unlike the vast cities along the Trans-Siberian, which have undergone rapid change over the last few years due to the increased train traffic and an influx of foreign travelers, the towns along the BAM remain part of the land that time forgot, their Soviet architecture virtually unchanged. The BAM is only 400 kilometers north of the Trans-Siberian, but the difference is palpable. BAM passengers tend to be predominantly local and poor, and with the exception of several bicycles, the jumping, several bicycles.
Well done! I couldn't have done that. Okay, keep going.
The jumping off point for Lake Baikal, very few foreigners ever climb abroad.
Well done, Anton. Okay.
Above.
Aboard. Mhm. All right. So the Russian words in this we're not going to worry too much about because I cannot help you with those. Well done for attempting that one. Okay, so the English words that I'll help you with. This is busy. Busy. Yeah, that's better. And this one here is, if I can find it, virtually. That's better, yeah. And this one, try not to make the ED into an extra syllable, right? So it's unchanged. Yes, that's better. I know that one's tricky for some speakers. Okay, last one. It's just the intonation in this one. It's predominantly. Exactly. So dominant is that word there, and it's the same emphasis. We keep the emphasis on the dom, predominantly. Okay, guys. Any questions?
Climb aboard is like ironically, no?
Climb aboard is like what?
Because climb is go aboard. Climb is like a mountain. Yes, for a train, it's a little bit strange.
Actually, no, it's not really. I can see where you're coming from, but to climb aboard is, yeah, it's not unusual to say that. For some reason, I guess it's because you have to sort of hold onto a handle maybe and step up. It's not exactly climbing, I agree, but I suppose that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Doing great, guys. Let's see if we can get David from Colombia to read the next paragraph for us.
Sure. Um, have you ever had caviar? Asked Valera. A tall man with a scar on his cheek. He was off to work in a gold mine north of China, and his sister had given him a soup for the road. We ate it with big spoons, washing it down with hot, sweet black tea. Tanya, a 21-year-old from the village of Karakoye, halfway between Komsomolsk on Amur and Tinda, frightened of Andres' drunken advance, heavily, but we got him up.
Great, David. Okay, 2 words. This one here, I know this one can be really tricky because you've got lots of sounds to combine, but it's asked. Yeah, that's better. Okay, well done. Asked. And then the next one is tub, a tub for the road.
A top to the road.
Yeah. All right, questions, guys. This is quite a short little one. No questions at all. Have you guys ever tasted caviar? Or have you ever had Russian caviar?
Nope.
Anybody? I believe it's the most expensive, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, which is probably why none of us have had it. All right, moving on.
Once in a lifetime.
Pardon?
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime, I believe so. You're gonna have to go on this train and meet that lady to get some. All right. The other David, if you can read from everyone.
Everyone wanted to know what life was like in my home country, the UK. How much does a one-bedroom flat cost? How much is a loaf of bread? What's the weather like? They flew about laughing when I told them that for decades the UK's coldest weather was minus 12 degrees Celsius. Yura said that in winter the temperature in Tinda dropped to minus 45 degrees Celsius. When we moved to Khabarovsk, where it doesn't get below minus 30, Yura said his son asked, "Dad, when are we going to have winter?"
Thank you, David. Well done. Goodness gracious. Okay, minus 47 is almost unimaginable to me. I think
can
minus
imagine
12.
too. I can imagine a minus 12.
I know, minus 12 for me is freezing. Okay.
I can imagine a 5 degrees.
You can't imagine 5 degrees. Oh dear. Okay, it just all depends on what you're used to, I guess. It's strange how humans are so able to adapt, isn't it? All right, David, just a couple of things. This one here is fell about laughing. Fell about laughing.
Fell about laughing.
Yeah, or laughing. It's okay if you.
Laughing.
Yeah,
Laughing or laughing?
If you're British, you say laughing.
Laughing.
Yeah.
American says laughing.
Laughing.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So either one of those is fine. But the main emphasis I wanted you to focus on was the fell about. Does anyone know what to fall about laughing is?
Phew, good.
Pardon?
I don't know. They laugh about what you said. They
Yeah.
chuckle.
So Chuckle, nice verb. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
To chuckle. It's not quite the same. If you fall about laughing, it's as if you're actually like moving your body. So like you're maybe leaning forward, and it's like you're laughing really hard, or moving your body in some way because your laughter makes you move. Quite difficult to describe actually. Okay, and the second word I want you to go over was this one, temperature.
I didn't understand. Feel about laughing.
You haven't understood it.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you just laugh, it's something that comes out your mouth, right? Ha ha ha, a
Okay.
noise. But if you fall about laughing, it's like you're laughing so much that you're falling over, or you're leaning your body, or you're clutching your stomach or something.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
what was I doing? Oh yeah, temperature.
Temperature.
That's better. Alright, well done, David. Thank you. Any questions from anybody else? No?
No.
All right, well done, guys. Let's continue. And we've got Eduardo outside.
Okay. Outside, the dense forest seemed endless. We stopped at the tiny settlement of Etrucan, one of the several built to service the heavy freight traffic that never really materialized, despite the railway bisecting Russia's rich mining districts. A number of mining projects planned during the last years of the Soviet Union never came to fruition, turning settlements into ghost towns as the younger generations fled to the cities to find work.
Just one more paragraph, please, Eduardo.
Okay. I talked into the night with Nikita from Khabarovsk. Despite completing university, he was looking for work in the mines to be able to support his family. All I want is to live and work with dignity, to earn enough to raise my child, to go on holiday sometimes, and to know that my job is stable, he said. He added that he was tired of the corruption, the bureaucracy, the rudeness, the lack of patriotism. Everyone just grabs a piece of for themselves. Russia is divided into clans, and if you are not part of them, it is difficult to get anything done.
Great. Thank you, Eduardo. Okay. So your reading is really beautiful. Just to be really pernickety, a couple of little sounds which you can work on.
Please
So
tell
the
me.
first one is that you, because of your native Spanish speaker, you overpronounce the
Why?
y sound in English, yeah? So it
Yeah.
sounds a little bit like j to me. So there's quite a big difference between that in English. The j, you've got to touch your tongue, right, to your actual teeth. The
Yeah.
you just very slightly touch the sides of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and nothing else, right? So it's hardly touching. So maybe practice that sound if you can a little bit younger.
Younger. Okay.
Yeah, that's much better, much better. Then there was another one which I thought about. This one here is completing.
Completing. Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Instead of completing, right?
Right. Long
And
time.
yeah, completing. Yeah, not too long, but I was overemphasizing it to point it out to you. And then this one here is done, like as if it was
Done.
D-U-N. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. All right,
Okay.
questions? Questions from anybody? No, everyone doing really well today. Do we understand all
Fruition.
these words, or are you just too shy to ask me?
Fruition is well pronounced because I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so if you want to be really, really perfect, just split the syllables up a tiny bit more, so it's fruition. Fruition.
Okay.
But
Fruition.
yeah, you're right. What is fruition?
emerge, like
Yeah.
get results of something.
Yeah,
No?
very good. If something comes to fruition, it means it kind of bears fruit, literally. It gives you the results that you want, or maybe some that you don't want. All right. Any other questions? Okay.
What is turning settlement?
Turning settlements. This one. What we've got here, Viviana, is turning into. To turn into is linked here, right? So if you turn something into something else, it means you change it from one thing to another. So I could say, for example, I'm turning into, what should I turn into? I'm turning into a very bossy teacher. It means I'm changing, okay? So here is the settlements that are changing into ghost towns. So basically people are disappearing from them. A ghost town is like somewhere where nobody lives.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
All right, great. Let's change the page, guys. Next page. And who have we got now? Joao, could you read for us, please, the next morning?
Yes, I will try. The next morning, we alighted at Tinda, the unofficial BAM capital, nearly 7,000 kilometers east of Moscow. The station building was covered with gigantic faded posters celebrating the railway's 35th anniversary in 2009. The road built with love. The railway is a Soviet triumph of man over nature, built in an inhospitable land of extreme winter cold and mosquito cloud-filled summers. But it was only in the later stages that the work was done by idealist young Communist Youth League members between the 1930s and 1950s. The railway was built with the blood and bones of at least 500,000 people, including inmates in Gulag labor camps and Japanese prisoners of war.
Great, well done, Joao. Okay, let's look at a few words. But overall, that was very well read. This one here is unofficial.
Unofficial.
Good. As opposed to official, yeah? Okay. Gigantic.
Gigantic.
I love that word. It's a great word. Okay, faded. Faded posters.
Faded posters.
Excellent. Okay, this one here is 35th.
35th.
Yeah, well done. And anniversary.
Anniversary.
Good. And the last one is, if I can find it, Labour. Here, I can't highlight it because it will click me somewhere else, but there. Can you see it? Labour.
Labour.
Very good. Well done. Okay. Is everybody following what we're reading? We're learning a lot about Russia and all of the places that we're going through on this train. So does anyone have any questions about this?
What gulag means?
That's a very good question. I have no idea. Just a moment. I'm going to find out for you. Okay. Gulag is the penal system of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, consisting of a network of labor camps, which is why I didn't know what it was. And basically, it's a Russian-related word, right? This is specific.
Okay.
There you go. There's the definition.
Okay.
Any other questions? No?
What is we alighted?
Whereabouts is it?
We wake up at, or
Ah, there we go. We alighted. No, not to wake up. Does anyone know what alight is? To alight?
I think no.
Nope. It means to get off, basically. So to the opposite of climbing a board, right?
Okay.
is alighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Generally, we do say get off, but you'll probably see signs like "Please alight carefully" or something on buses and stuff. You might see that now and again in English-speaking countries. Any other questions? No? All right. One last paragraph. I'm going to get Ming to read this because he didn't really read much for us before. So Ming, can you go for this one? Oh, actually, did you read the first paragraph? Hey?
Yeah.
Did I already get you to read? I'm just getting lost now.
I want to read. I want to read.
All right, go ahead. As hard as I tried.
As hard as I tried, I couldn't locate Tinder's main attraction, the statue of the BAM worker, depicted as a muscle man wielding a sledgehammer. BAM's most prominent monument is symbolic of the sheer effort of building the railway and a supposedly spectacular example of socialist realism. I walked the entire length of the main street, passing a giant hammer and sickle sculpture, Hotel Unost, something something, where travel writer Derfla Murphy stayed while penning through Siberia by accident. Identikit concrete apartment blocks and several grill meat skewer stands. Instead, I stumble across the BAM History Museum next to a replica barracks where BAM workers lived during the railway's construction.
Great, thank you, Ming. That was beautifully read. Any questions about vocab, guys, or grammar, or any of these things that we're talking about?
What's identikit?
This is another one of those Russian-related words. I'm guessing that it's just like a type of concrete apartment block.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not exactly sure what it looks like. Maybe look it up on Google if you're interested. Any other questions?
What means depicted as a muscled man while
Good question.
wielding?
Wielding.
Wielding.
Okay, first we need to know what depicted means.
Portrayed.
Yeah, really good synonym is portrayed. Do you know what portrayed means?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically we have a muscled man, which is a man with big muscles, right? On his arms, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Wielding. Who can give me an explanation of wielding?
Use?
Getting with both hands in like a gun or any kind of weapon, similar when we refer to a sword.
Absolutely, that's a great explanation. So it means basically to hold something, but we usually use it when we're talking about like weapons or something that's going to cause damage. If you wield a sword, for example. It's not a sword that he's wielding though, it's a sledgehammer. What's a sledgehammer?
It's a big hammer.
Yep. Excellent, exactly right, thank you. It's a big, heavy hammer. Okay, So guys, we're going to pause there just for a moment because we haven't got much time left. So I want to talk to you just a minute. First of all, has anybody ever been on a long train journey, like that lasts maybe a day or more than one day?
Nope.
Sorry, I don't
I
understand the question.
The
I
question
was
is, has anybody in the class, like, have you guys ever been on a long train trip, on a train for 12 hours or more?
when
12
we
hours, no, but I I made the travel from Prague to Cracovia.
How long
Uh,
did that take?
I think 7 hours.
All right, and was it fun? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, in
Why?
holidays.
Why did you enjoy it?
Because I think is a good way to view the country and saw the, the beautiful.
Scenery, yeah?
hmm
Scenery, see the countryside.
Yes,
Um, yeah, so I'm guessing that you passed through several different countries, Joel. And what was it? I don't know. I mean, what was it about the scenery that was interesting? Could you tell the difference when you were changing countries? Like, was it obvious when you changed into, say, from Portugal to Spain and then France?
no, I traveled to Prague flying,
Mm-hmm.
and in Prague we take a train to Krakow
All right.
in
And
Poland.
so, yeah. And could you, what I wanted to know really is,
hmm
could you tell just by looking out the window which country you were in? Could you notice differences as you changed through the countries? Because you would have had to travel through quite a few countries, right?
Yes.
So what was the countryside like? Did it change all the time?
Yes, Portugal, there are more sun.
Yeah, it got cloudier and cloudier as you went along.
Yes,
All right.
but Prague have many monuments with
Mhm.
castles and
Mm,
is very beautiful. Many bridges. The countryside is very green.
mm,
In Portugal are not,
mhm.
and I think so.
All right. Sorry, Joel, I got a bit confused with my with what you were saying just then. So yeah, okay, that sounds I've always enjoyed traveling on trains because it's kind of relaxing in some way. I don't know about you. Does anyone feel like one day they would like to go and do a long train trip? I know there are several in the world, like the Trans-Siberian, there's this one we're reading, there's some quite long ones in Canada. Has anyone ever always wanted to go on a long train journey?
not on a long train journey, but a luxury one that is in the Cantabric Sea, the Cantabric corner from Galicia to País Vasco in Spain.
Is that
Uh,
right?
yes, it's from the frontier with Portugal to the frontier with France. It's a luxury train, and it's Trans-Cantabric, I think is the name, and I
Mhm.
think it's very luxury and very similar to this old fashion train,
Mhm.
and you can um, pay a lot of money, and you are going to stop in the best cities of the tour.
Mhm.
I think it's very fine to make this trip.
That sounds really, yeah, it sounds beautiful actually. I didn't know about that. I once watched a documentary about luxury train travel in India, which I thought might be quite cool. But I don't know. Does anyone else feel interested in train travel, or are you guys more about cars or planes? I'm guessing you're cars and planes type of guys. All right, so tell me, what don't you like about train travel? What's the bad side of it?
Sleeping. Sleeping is very, very bad.
They're sleeping. How come? Because it's rocks you around too much.
Yes.
Fair enough. So what's your preferred method of transport?
Car. I
Car?
think
Why?
because we can stop
Whenever you want.
yes.
I have to admit, I think that's probably most people's opinion, right? You have more control over your trip.
Yes.
But if you can't take your car, would you rather travel by coach, by bus, or by train?
If the question is for me?
Yeah, well, for everybody, really.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, for you, Joelle, go ahead. What would you prefer to travel?
Um,
Train is safe.
yes.
Train is safer, do you think?
Yes, more safer than the others.
All right. Is it more comfortable, do you think, or not?
I think it's comfortable too, but it's more slow.
It's slower on the train than the
Slower,
bus.
yes. Yes, than bus and airplane.
Okay, so hang on. Bus is slower than aeroplane, right?
Right.
Although it depends. It depends on how far you're going, and yeah, so it depends on where you're going as well, I suppose. There's lots of things to take into consideration. Um, but oh, thank you, Antonio. He's going to post us a link for the Spanish luxury train. I must admit, a luxury train does sound good. What is it that it makes it luxury, though?
They have champagne on train.
Ah, okay. There you go.
I don't know.
Alright, so it's just a normal train, but you get champagne.
No, but this is not the way this train is working. If you can take a first sight over this link, you can see what kind of train is it. It's trying to be an old reflet of trains, but with luxury and comfort, but in an old train that is uh, uh, with a remake, with some
Renovations?
renovations, but I don't know. The most important thing is the stop are you going that you're going to do in the the better cities. I think it's only running on summer because the climate allows to do in a better way. I'm not sure, but I think it's in summer only.
Okay, that would make sense. So part of the experience is like where you stop and get off and look around places. That sounds very cool. I'm gonna have to look up the link for that, Antonio. Thank you. All right, guys, it's time to finish the class. So well done, everybody, on your reading. And if you're interested in practicing your writing, then you can come along to my writing class, which is starting now. So I better leave you. If you're going to bed, have a great sleep. If you're carrying on studying, go hard, and I will see you all again soon, I hope. So take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.